maybe your memory is a little.
Well, he definitely
awry.
said that in jest.
Well, I don't know if he said that in jest. I think he might have meant it. There's, you ever hear that there's truth behind every joke?
I made a joke about calling Denzel Washington or Jackie Robinson the N-word 60 times. Think there was truth behind that?
Well, they are black.
I'm going to say it for the camera right now. No, there's no truth behind that.
Okay, so if I had a time machine and I could go back to the 50s,
Danny would never.
I would walk up to Jackie Robinson and it would just be an uninterrupted string of 60 N-bombs. There's truth in comedies.
No, I don't think you would ever do that. You would never do that.
That's the first thing I would do with a time machine. I wouldn't go back and save Lincoln or ride a brontosaur.
Wait, would we make it a video saving Lincoln, dude? If we got a if we got a time machine right now and we could only use it for 3 hours, do we fucking go cameras rolling? Does Austin pick up a camera and do me and you go back in time and fuck up John Wilkes Booth?
Well, I freed the slaves is the motto of my site, my channel. So it's not in my best interest to go
many
help him
views
at all.
does that video get? Like, they would like study it and most people would be like, this is a hoax. But I mean, like, they obviously history would change. So people would be like, well, he never was killed. What this is bullshit. This is an acting job. It's very good. They did a great job with Abraham Lincoln's teeth. They're very rotted, which was very attuned to the time.
Are you sure that wasn't George Washington?
They all had bad teeth.
Probably true. No, what I would do is I'd grab fucking Abraham Lincoln's right fist as he was signing the Emancipation Proclamation. I'd put him in a Darce choke, let him lose consciousness, and then write Danny James, the sex criminal, Brian Mullen on the Emancipation
And then you'd be the most famous man in the world. You would.
Okay, I'll take it. I'd be automatically.
What would you do with that level of fame? Do you have multiple girlfriends? Do you still date?
Well, I mean, I'm already being submerged by a tidal wave of fame daily, and I only have one girlfriend, so I don't think that would make much of a difference.
So you'd still have this. You'd be the same guy. Would
Be
you
the
live
same
here?
guy. I'd live here.
Really? Would you drive the Sable?
I might I might buy a new say Ford Explorer.
What about
I like the bigger cars?
You'd buy a Ford Explorer, a 2019, 2020?
2022.
Nice. Oh, okay. So a very, very, very modern.
I got a time machine.
Okay, so you'd go. So in the 3 hours, we'd film the video with Lincoln. You'd come back and have enough time, and you would have enough time to do anything you want for the remainder of the 3 hours that we have. And you would make me and you, or maybe I'd be sitting there and I'd be like, well, can I do something with the time machine? Be like, no, I don't think that's right. So you wouldn't get the sports almanac in the future.
So I wouldn't copy the plot of
Well,
Back to
I
the
mean,
Future
isn't
2?
that the smartest thing to do?
Is it Back to the Future 2?
It's Back to the Future 2, yes.
Oh.
You wouldn't do that? We could gamble. God damn, I'd be like, Danny, I got this one.
Have we learned anything from my tirade at the beginning of this show? I'm not a hack. I don't put out content like Andrew Judge, Ruman, or Emily, so I wouldn't steal the script of Back to the Future 2 with
Let me
my
get this
time machine.
fucking
No.
straight. You just because you wouldn't want to steal the script to Back to the Future 2, you wouldn't set yourself up for riches forever.
No.
So you would use the remainder of the time to go forward in time, just 2 years, just 2, to get a future Ford Explorer that might have some solid, I don't know, OnStar and navigation capabilities. Maybe it's electric. I don't know.
You got to see the backup camera on the 2022 model. It is to die for.
1080?
Fucking 4K.
It's 4K?
And it's got the backup markers that are like,
Oh, fucking fine, dude. You didn't tell
there'd
me
be
that.
so
That's
many ways
perfectly-
to make money if you had a time machine.
Which would you look at the stock market? Would you go? I think the sports almanac's easy. You go to Vegas, you put fucking your entire life savings on it, then you do it again and again and again and again, and never lose.
I'd go back to 1998. I'd tell my dad, "Hey, give me $10,000." I'd put it in Amazon. Bam.
Yeah.
I'd put it in Apple. Bam. Fast forward to 2008.
I want to do that math. I have to do that math now. Amazon was $23
Lock
at the
me
time.
in. Lock me in at 10 grand.
Okay, 10 grand. You go back in time. You buy Amazon in '98. $10,000. That's divided by $23. So that would be 434 shares. It is currently trading at 2,400 yesterday. So you multiply that times 2,400. You would have only $1 million, Danny.
Well,
I mean, that's really good from 10 grand in 1998. 98 wasn't even that long ago.
I would have done the same thing with Uber, Apple, Facebook.
Apple was at $1. You would bought 10 grand at Apple. Okay, let's see that. 10,000 times. I think it's at 211. I saw it this morning. 211.
Nobody cares about the math. I'd be rich, and
You'd have $2 million for Apple. That's great.
Fuck Apple. Steve Jobs is a bastard, and the new guy Tim Cook.
Well, he is a bastard because he was
a pussy.
Well, Tim Steve Jobs is a bastard because he was what's it called? He was wow. Why am I can't come up with this word right now because he was adopted. Steve Jobs was adopted.
Exactly. That's why I hate him.
He has no father. You don't like him because he doesn't have a father. He's a good.
When I was a kid, I learned the slur biscuit. That's somebody who doesn't have a biological father. He's a biscuit. Apple, they should have renamed the company Biscuit, eh, Austin?
Yeah, sure.
So you for no other reason than the fact that he was an adopted man, didn't have a biological father, you hate Steve Jobs.
You cannot trust somebody who doesn't have a biological father because the mom was probably doing a lot of drinking to get over the grief, and she was probably just a big whore. And she's bringing in stepfathers and boyfriends. Stepfathers and boyfriends, they diddle the young boys, and that means he's going to be all post-traumatic stress disordered out as he's roaming through the halls of Apple and that San Francisco peninsula. You can't trust him.
Wow. I'll tell you what, it's funny because I would think that you would like Steve Jobs because apparently he ran his ship much like you run the Danny Mullen ship.
How do I run the Danny Mullen ship?
With abuse, harsh words, hard work, and sexual tension.
There was sexual tension with Steve Jobs?
Oh, yeah. He would molest and sexually harass all of his fucking interns.
Well, now I'm liking him a little more.
Yeah.
Wozniak stopped being friends with him because of the rape.
You raped the chick, Steve Jobs?
No, he raped Wozniak.
You're full of
shit. When they were high on acid. No, I'm just kidding.
That was delivered very
that was great.
The
kid's got talent. I mean, when I first met Austin, he used to pick my brain about stand-up. He wanted to get into stand-up.
I still want to do it because I think it would be funny.
Yeah.
Just like
Too bad it was a hearse. Maybe we'll have another Nico on our fucking hands.
I gotta say, Austin probably has a little more natural ability than Nico.
You know what? I think
I'm not sure.
His acting ability is top notch.
I